First of all, I want to say thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I'm still soul searching, actually. So it's like a never-ending journey. Once you start soul searching, you start looking for the knowledge. You start looking for different things that like fill you and like make you feel like you're progressing mentally, right? So the first agreement is a part of the Four Agreements book. It started with being impeccable with my word, and that's really the first agreement, just saying what you mean and meaning what you say. And know there's power in your voice, know there's power in your words and shit like that. So becoming a student of life and realizing that you realize that you can just you can be honest with people about what you don't know, and that's how you can pick up a lot of gems along the way. Cause I'm like, y'all old heads was doing weird ass shit too. Like, don't even fucking front, right? So like the trends and shit don't bother me. It's the variety, right? Why does it just have to be one variety of an artist that's being so pushed onto our culture? That's my only thing. If there was variety, then it would be easier for me to explain to my daughters why this looks like this and why this looks like this.
I took a step back, had to stack my bread up. I'm hearing Tupac tell me keep my head up. Living a life they want and now they jealous. Niggas is really talking, who you telling? Can't comprehend the words you niggas spelling. I look around and shit get overwhelming. Ain't been the same since I lost Grandma Helen. I got voices in my head and they yelling. We ain't buying the life they selling. And I ain't trying to end up no felon, my nigga is
now or never. Ay, foot on the pedal, I told my niggas we gon' ride forever. I done went 2 steps back, sometimes that's trial and error. Don't matter what happened, just know gotta keep me in mind together.
All right, welcome everybody to the Student of Life podcast. I'm AV. I've been doing this video stuff for a while now. We got Dizzy Wright right here, man.
Peace, y'all.
Dizzy Wright right here, man. He's been a mentor to me, and he don't even know it, you know?
Yeah.
Since 2012, I believe.
Wow.
We started with the Soul Search mixtape.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, man, so we go, way back. I remember being in 11th grade and just him being one of the dudes that taught me to, Student of Life, see? We weren't recording.
There it is. We here now.
All right. Take 2. Welcome to the Student of Life podcast. We are live and direct right now from Petro Dispensary. We're right here with Dizzy Wright. He's been a mentor to me. He don't even know it. I go way back to Dizzy Wright since the Soul Searching mixtape. And man, I remember being in high school and just running into Dizzy Wright. I believe through Funk Volume is how I found out about you. And then I started searching for all the mixtapes, and Soul Searching was one that really hit. He was talking that shit on there, like stop making excuses and, really get after it. So throughout those years, he really helped me push that independent route and follow my dreams. I was in high school, so I could have went to college. I could have went any route. So I was like, nah, I'm going to do this video stuff. I'm going to, open up a barbershop. And throughout all that journey, you were able to help through mixtapes and
Fire, bro.
So it's a pleasure, to be able to have him here. This is my first episode on this podcast, and it's named Student of Life, and it's inspired by the First Agreement, which
love that.
It's what is it? You cannot criticize if you're always a student to life.
That's right.
So that was the main thing, is I wanted a podcast where we were gonna teach people about life and just share experiences to where people can grow. So let's get started with that, man. The First Agreement. What does that mean to you?
Wow, the First Agreement. First of all, I want to say thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I'm still soul searching, actually. So it's like a never-ending journey. When I was in middle school, I had started like a little clique with my homies called Lost Souls. So back in the day, we was just reckless, wasn't really thinking about the future. We was just getting through the day, and we just kind of felt lost in the sauce, didn't really feel like we fit in a little bit. So the soul searching, really understanding soul searching, the beginning of that process was the shift to everything, and I'm glad you were a part of that. As far as the First Agreement goes, that's like what I started to grow into. As I started to, once you start soul searching, you start looking for the knowledge. You start looking for different things that like feel you and like make you feel like you're progressing mentally, right? So the first agreement is a part of the Four Agreements book. And I just figured that I would just break down the agreements.
Yeah.
And I started with being impeccable with my word. And that's really the first agreement, just saying what you mean and meaning what you say. And know there's power in your voice, know there's power in your words and shit like that. So becoming a student of life and realizing that you realize that you can just, you can be honest with people about what you don't know. And that's how you can pick up a lot of gems along the way.
And then as far as that goes, the other agreements, which one would you say you have? Well, break them down to the people what those agreements are.
Okay, so the first agreement is being impeccable with your word. If I'm not mistaken, the second one is don't take anything personal. And then the third one is don't make any assumptions. And the fourth one is always do your best.
Yes, sir. Which one would you say that you struggle with the most out of those agreements?
Not taking things personal. That was the one I struggled with the most at first. You know, in the music industry, things happen to you and it's hard not to take it personal. Especially when it's happening with people that you trusted or people that you respected and you looked up to and they do you dirty. And people get greed. Greed outweighs loyalty in the music industry sometimes. And you got to be cautious on who you keep around and who you give your ideas to and different things like that. And when you see betrayal, it's hard not to take betrayal personal, you know, but if you can learn how that even came about, then it's easier for you not to make that mistake so you don't put yourself in a position to have to take that type of stuff personal. You know, you keep people at an arm's distance. You just learn from it, you feel me? But I think I've grown tremendously over the last couple years at like not taking things personal, and I think it's been a shift for me.
Nice, man. I think making assumptions is the one that I struggle with.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, this motherfucker's moving dirty. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to pinpoint it sometimes. That's another one too. That would be the second one for me.
For sure, man. And then as far as like I said, I found out about you through the whole Funk Volume movement. After that was over with, what struggles did you face being able to put your music out? And yeah, like how were you able to bounce back from that?
The struggles that I faced the most after the Funk Volume breakup was dealing with all the negative energy that I didn't create. I didn't have nothing to do with the label dismantling. Like, I wasn't in it at all.
You were going hard during that time.
Yeah, it just got swept from under my feet. So trying not to take that personal, you know what I'm saying? I think, and the love, you know, everybody picked a side, choose the side. And I think that was the toughest thing for me, where I had dedicated myself to building a full label up. And then here I was, like, watching the fans pick sides. And, like, you know, everybody has an opinion, you know what I'm saying? And some of those opinions were a little far-fetched, you know what I'm saying? So not really having the energy to try to get online and explain to everybody what the real, you know, situation that was actually happening, how it was actually going down. I think that was just the toughest thing for me. It's just all the negativity. So what I did, I built good relationships in this. I think in any industry you are in, I think you should build good relationships and try not to burn no bridges, because you never know what somebody's going to be doing later down the line. You know, 3 years ago, they probably didn't know you was going to have this Student of the Life podcast. Yeah. Who knows where this might go? You might be able to give somebody an opportunity now, but if they treated you crazy 3 years ago, you just going to look right past them. So Logic had became one of my partners, and once I seen the negativity kind of, you know, boiling up, I hit him like, look, man, I know you working on an album. I know you got a tour. What's up? Let me get an open slot. I'm trying to get out of this little negative bubble that I'm in. that I ain't put myself in. And I was able to explain to Logic what was going on. And he was able to work it out with his team for me to be able to get on that tour. There's some back end shit that goes into that as well, but I was super appreciative for him allowing me to step out of that negative bubble, even if it was only for a tour.
No, that's huge, man.
It gave me an opportunity to focus on the positive and try to get ready for the next move.
Nice. And then as far as the putting the music out, how did that change after you left Funk Volume?
Yeah, it got a little messy, you know what I'm saying, because I started utilizing different distribution companies to try to find a home, you know, where I had kind of built a home with Funk Volume and we were kind of doing things together. Although I feel like Funk Volume dismantling was a blessing in disguise for me, I do feel like that push through of finding the correct way to release music. And, you know, you got to understand, they made an announcement that they weren't going to make cars with CDs anymore. And that just blew my mind. I was like, no more CDs. I was just like, the streaming shit started really happening once Funk Volume broke up. So the music industry changed on me. You know what I'm saying? So I really was just trying to learn how the music industry was working. And I dropped the ball on a lot of different releases because I didn't know how to properly release them because I was dolo, you know? But, you know, I just tried to do it better the next time.
And then with that being said, what was it, you YouTubing things and Googling like how to put music on Apple Music, or was there somebody you reached out to that kind of put you on game and was able to tell you how to do it now?
Nah. At that point, I had the knowledge and I had built some relationships that I could go to some different people and be like, yo, what do you think is the best way for me to do this? And, you know, so I worked with like Foundation, which is a distribution company, and Empire, which is another distribution company. And those were the two that I was kind of going back and forth from. But I wish I had more of a consistent home with one of them. And I was trying to see who was willing to build with Dizzy Wright. But in the process, I think it just looked a little messy, and then I wasn't able to build with either one like that. So I think, like, you learn that too, where it's like, all right, you can build good relationships, but once it gets a little messy and it gets all over the place, you know, then you're kind of on your own. So some of these platforms like DistroKid is what I went to. So I went to DistroKid, and I'm like, okay, you can release your albums and your songs on here, and you can control when it comes out and all these different things, you know. So I was like, all right, well, I'll drop an album this way, and I'll just do it directly myself. You know, and then, but you might not have the resources that some of those distribution companies have to be able to push the music a little more. So you got to figure out what they doing to push the music. So then, you know what I'm saying, you got to, maybe it was like a publicist and all these different things where, like, you know, getting somebody to work your shit to get on blogs and stuff, that was really an era for a while. You know what I'm saying? Getting everybody in the industry to talk about it. Then it became a playlist game. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, get your shit on playlists. And it just keeps changing, bro. It just keeps changing. You just got to keep having conversations. You never learn this shit, and you're set for this shit for life.
Yeah.
I feel like you step out of the music industry for 3 months, you might come back and be like, what the fuck? This how they doing it now?
And then, so for a young artist that's, let's say, you know, recording their first tape, back then they would be able to go sling the CDs. What would be the route that you would recommend to an upcoming artist to take?
So this is the route that I'm about to take, and this is the route that I would maybe encourage the newer artists to do now, to get ahead of the curve of what's happening now, right? Treating the music like a movie that's releasing in theaters, right? Before it goes to Netflix and before it goes on TV and all that shit, where it go? To the movie theaters. You gotta go experience that motherfucker a certain way. So I would say Sell your music directly to your fans and build the data. Sell your music directly to your fans and build the data. Don't keep it completely away from streaming platforms. Maybe just use that first month to just, whoever wants to support you, let them support you directly. Streaming, all that, you're getting like less than a penny off of streams and shit. Like, people have to stream your shit like 1 point something 5 million times for you to get like $2,500 or some shit. It's fucking insane. So, but if you build your fan base, right, you can control your narrative. If you build your data. I tell all new artists, think about the data, bruh. Like, even if you got 20 people, 30 people that buy your record every time it drop, imagine if 15 of them didn't know you were dropping. It's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But imagine if at least those 30 people always supported you because you could send them an email and let them know, or a text message and let them know the album just dropped. Or, you know, I'm in town, I'm doing this little show, I'm opening for this artist, and you got 40 people to text that you know bought your album, and they could come out and support you. And you keep doing that, eventually that list is gonna grow tremendously.
So you're saying look at it as a business, you know, like
absolutely,
like Macy's sends you emails.
Same thing. These authors do that have their book email fucking list. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, their first book, it was 50 emails, you know, and then the second book, it was 250 emails. And then by the 10th book, you know, they have 1.5 million emails that they're sending the book out to, and they're number one on the book shit every time. So we just don't think about the long-term effects of sticking to something, building something out slow. Once artists come out, they just like, they want to compete with the artists that already have started building for a long time. That mentality already is just gonna like, you're not gonna last long.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna do something, you're gonna feel like, damn, I feel like this is competing, man. But
could you give people a rough timeline of when you dropped your first tape to now, so they can kind of see all the work you've put in?
I dropped the Takeover mixtape in 2010. I started working on it my senior year, 2009. I didn't really know how to drop a project or nothing like that. Like, so I started at, like, if you're an artist that's just starting out and you don't know shit, bro, I started out the same way, bro. Like, I was like, so what do you do? Like, yeah. You know, I Googled my first music video. I Googled, and like, I think I've Googled like cameraman in Vegas that shoot videos. And the first dude that popped up was like a cameraman, but he shot bugs. Like little small ass insects. He was like making them all 3D and shit. I was like, look, you think you could shoot a music video for me? I was like, bruh, I'm like, man, I had wrote out the whole music video, what I thought it was gonna be and everything. And yeah, I had my boy come, and he went from shooting bugs to shooting music videos. Like, he started becoming the guy in the city. He realized that was a way for him to get a bag, but that was like the beginning of utilizing the internet. Utilize the internet, utilize YouTube, type that shit in, ask the questions, and then just
follow through.
Yeah, follow through, and give yourself time to like grow in this shit. You know what I mean?
So nowadays, what's your process like in the studio whenever you go in or you record the song, and then what's next after that?
I'll record another one. Shit. Like, it's crazy because I was talking to my partner the other day. I was just like, man, I don't know what that is in me that like makes me want to wake up every day and create. I'm like, but I love that I still have it, you know, because I naturally want to get up and I want to go in there and I want to see what I could do. It's a natural feeling that I go off of, so it never feels like work. But I'm a versatile artist, and I want I want to continue to like be versatile and find different ways to get the message out there in different fly little creative ways. So that's always inspiring to me. But excuse me, I've been saying from the very beginning that I haven't stepped all the way into my peak. Like I feel like I got great verses out there and shit like that. But like when I'm penning shit now, I feel like I'm getting better. I'm like competing with myself, like not even competing with nobody else no more. It's just like I'm just trying to get better or have the message come off a little more slicker in the next shit and maybe just find ways to take I'm like, maybe that message was find ways to make that message a little more universal, like, but sometimes I'm like, this is supposed to make people feel weird, you know?
Yeah.
And somebody will listen to it and be like, you don't want to change that line. And I'm like, nope, that line is meant to make you even say that to me.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said it. So just being an artist, being a creative, and having purpose with what you do.
And how are you not swayed by what people want to hear? Because, for example, with you could have the image of your typical rapper or whatever, you know, but you've stuck to the message of like growth. And it seems like when you go in the studio, you really think about, like, I think you've said it before, like you are afraid of what your kids listen to or, you know, the message they hear from music. I think I seen you posted on the Andre 3000 thing, like, I'll let my daughter listen to this because I know the message is not gonna, you know, she's not gonna get a distorted message. So is that difficult for you to not fall into the trends and all that to make the sales?
No. I mean, I like some of these trends. I'm not one of these old heads that's like, yo, these niggas fucking this shit up. Because I'm like, y'all old heads was doing weird ass shit too. Like, don't even fucking front, right? So, like, the trends and shit don't bother me. It's the variety, right? Why does it just have to be one variety of an artist that's being so pushed onto our culture? Mm-hmm. That's my only thing. If there was variety, then it would be easier for me to explain to my daughters why this looks like this and why this looks like this. Mm-hmm. But if this just is the only thing that looks like the cool thing to be, and nothing else, it's like, now I'm like, it seems like I'm working against this, right? And just this. And it's like, I think it's just that, just variety. I think I keep that in the back of my mind that I have to have variety. If I want to do a record about a night that I had at the strip club when I was drunk with my partners, throwing money, acting wild.
Hotel strip.
Yeah, bro, I'm going to do that. But if I wake up in the morning and I feel some type of way about something else, I want to do a record about that, bro, I'm going to do that. Like, that's that artist shit. But what labels are doing is pushing one narrative. You turn on the radio, you see what's being promoted at the award shows. Yeah. I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, shit, my daughter can't even watch this shit without me feeling like this shit is kind of diluting her mind, or I have to it has to come with a message after every time I put this shit on, you know. So, and for me, bro, it's access. Like, I don't think that kids shouldn't have access to shit that they might not be ready for, right? Once they leave your house and they go out into the world, they're now being parented by teachers and school counselors and all type of shit, right? That's out of your hands, and a lot of what they see is what they see.
My bad to interrupt. That reminds me, on one of your songs you say, I should have been a school counselor to see what they get out of that. What did you mean by that?
'Cause it's more, it always, like, I always felt like there was more value in, like, directly working with somebody than trying to be like a role model. I think, like, people were kind of, I ain't coming to this shit trying to be a role model. You know, I'm a shelter baby. There's a difference. I have a lot of gratitude. I appreciate life, but I'm not no fucking role model, right? I just saw my mom raise 5 kids, and I know what that looks like. So, you know, I'm just one of them dudes that's, like, got a lot of gratitude, but, you know, how, like you said, people will try to sway you into being a certain way. And I think that people were trying to sway me into being this 22-year-old fucking role model. And I'm like, nigga, I ain't even lived yet. Like, this is just who I am. And I always felt like, you know, because I wanted to do like some psychology shit, like work with juveniles and shit. Like if this rap shit didn't work out, I'd be somewhere working with like juveniles or like kids that didn't have the guidance and shit like that. Because those was the kids I hung around. And I know we needed that shit. So that's what I would be on if I wasn't doing like the rap shit.
And yeah, because I mean, you mentioned a lot, like you're not gonna sell out, you're not gonna, basically bend your morals to just fit in. As far as labels go, do you think that's a reason why you've stayed independent?
Yeah, that's why. Bro, I would love to sign with, I would love for a label to be like, man, I like this kid. Let's help him get his little message out there. And I mean, he party, he does, I smoke weed, I do a lot of the shit that these niggas do, but I just got a message that comes with it as well. And I think labels are just so far away from people with the message, that J. Cole just got his first #1 record with Drake, bruh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, no offense or nothing, but that's Cole. That's J. Cole. Like, somebody who's been putting out incredible music for so long, and he can't even go #1 on that motherfucking positive shit. It's like he gotta motherfucking spice it up just to get motherfuckers to tap into the positive shit. And the labels have made it extremely difficult to be able to, like, play both lanes.
Yeah.
And that's why you only have a Kendrick and a Cole, and that's why your Jay-Z's and your Nas's are only popping out here and there, but it's not being received, the same way as some of this other shit is.
No, I mean, well, I respect that, bro. Like, I know it's hard for you turn down a bag essentially, because I know you're a good rapper. You're a great rapper. You could go in and do whatever trend or whatever, but you've kept it solid, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna bend my message to make sure that I stay authentic. So that's very respectable, man.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir. And let's talk about work ethic, because that's really what's gotten you here. Work ethic. Talk to the people about what a day for Dizzy Wright looks like.
It's just, for me, proper planning is at the top of, like, my work ethic. It's like, I got to have a plan, a mission. What am I trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish? What's next? Whether it's a project that, even if it's a project that turns into another project, that turns into another it doesn't matter. It's just got to be a mission. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's how can I say this? It's kind of like what I was saying earlier. If you got it in you to wake up every day and want to be creative, you should, like, find different ways to do that. Find different ways to be creative. But also, you got to mix it up, man. You got to, like, you can't just be a work and not have, like, your things. Like, it might be your video game you got to get off for an hour or two. Just something to shift your mind in different ways. It might be the gym. You might wake up and, you know what I'm saying? But building good habits, bro. Building good habits. Maybe not setting goals so much, like, but building good habits. I'm reading a book right now, Atomic Habits, and, like, in this book, it kind of tells you, like, just try to get better 1% every day, and I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's like the compound effect.
Yeah, you get better 1% every day, bro. By the end of the year, you, like, 360-something fucking percent better than what you was when you started the year out. That's tough.
Yeah, man.
To me, if you think like that, then, like, if you think like that all 2024 and all 2025, where the fuck you gonna be in 2026? What does that version of you even look like?
Man, recently I stopped smoking weed, man. Since I was 16, I was smoking, and I have a couple businesses and stuff, and I was just like, man, you know what? I just losing memory cards and, you know,
Little shit.
Yeah, little dumb shit. I was like, let me cut it, you know? And it was weird, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it was like a part of my personality, but it all goes back to like the habits, you know? Like I found myself being on time more. Just, yeah, like when I get out the house, I'm not looking for my keys, my wallet. And
Right, you're more alert.
You're more alert.
That's it. Whatever works best for you, bro.
For real. So with that being said, I know you've said before I'm not a weed rapper. How do you think that you rapping about weed has influenced people into being potheads?
Maybe. When I said I wasn't a weed rapper, I was just pretty much pretending to like, you're not gonna get an album of just me talking about all weed all the time.
Oh, okay.
That ain't my motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? You'll get a weed song.
Yeah.
But like, how you not a weed rapper, but you and this motherfucker hitting a blunt? Like, Snow. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, because I'm going to smoke that shit. And like, you know, I listen to the weed music too, but I'm just not just a weed rapper.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, my shit ain't just for the weed sessions. You know, you could bump my shit on your journey through life. And like, my shit actually going to start hitting a little better the more you start understanding yourself. I think when people start not getting mature and getting older, I don't like when niggas say that, but when you start understanding yourself more, that music gonna start hitting a little different because you're gonna realize that's what I was doing the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, with that soul searching mixtape, that's really what it was. And when I heard it, you know, it was like, this is the shit that I needed to hear. You know, I'm a first generation Mexican or whatever. So my dad, you know, he's always at work. He don't sit there and really talk to me about a lot of the shit that you would say in those mixtapes is stuff that, you know, my dad would probably want to tell me, but he's at work, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, man, even though you're a weed rapper, bro, you still, you know, you rap about weed. You're not just a weed rapper.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But like titles and those things that used to bother me don't bother me no more. That's like me in my 20s, bro. I was passionate about my shit. I'm like, who you calling a fucking weed rapper? I'm like, Tupac. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm like, I wanted to be respected for the message that I was trying to get out there and for holding my people accountable, right? Because I felt like, you know, we do a lot of that. We do a lot of the brainwashing to ourselves, but we let the labels, you know, give us a little dough. And that's the selling your soul part to it. Yeah. It's like, are you down to completely fucking keep the cycle going of fucking your people up and keeping your people away from themselves for you to have instant gratification right now?
And I feel like that's why a lot of people are empty at the end of the day, you know, because they have the money, they have the cars, they have all this stuff, but at the end of the day, they bent their morals and ethics to get there. So what's the point, you know?
Then they turn around and the best they could do is, like, you know, I hate to say it, give out turkeys. I hate to say it. Hey, can that be the best? That'd be the best people could do for a small amount of people, but the damage that's being done, that's keeping us back from believing, like, you know what I'm saying, we could be more than just this, you know, or there's a different way, or this shit was just leading to something. Like if we had hip-hop schools or hip-hop banks or black shit, you know, a lot of those conversations are happening now here at the end of the 50-year anniversary. First we celebrated 50 years, and now we all like, damn, it has been 50 years, bruh. Like, what do we really got to show for this 50 years that we've been around? And where did it end up, you know? And I think that's kind of like the dialogue now.
So you have daughters?
Yep.
How many?
I have 2 daughters, 1 son, and 1 daughter on the way. I'm about to have 3 girls, bruh.
Congratulations, man. I have 3 girls, too, so it's... This dude at 7-Eleven the other day said, man, I'm sorry.
Yo, you know what I mean? It's kind of scary when you look at just all of the shit that's being pushed on the little girls. But, you know, I think that, like, you know, with the right people having the right dialogues, like, you know, our kids could be a lot more savvy in life.
What is some words of advice to parents with daughters? Dads with daughters.
So, for me, it's you know, my biggest thing is identity, right? I think that you gotta teach your daughters to love themselves and know themselves and understand the shit that they going through for them to be able to move it through life. Identity. It's hard to find your identity when you look around and you see so many different identities you can be. You know what I mean? And now they got a phone with way more access to the shit than we did. I couldn't imagine trying to be like the nigga from New Jersey when I was growing up because I could see this nigga style on Instagram, right? I couldn't imagine. Like, it was no bigger than where I was at, the neighborhood I was in. So I think that teaching them to be confident in themselves and understanding and just telling them all the things that you know they gonna hear before some little dusty ass nigga like you come in when you was a little dusty ass nigga running up on girls and tell them some shit that they should be hearing from you. That's the best that I got as far as like if you just want some advice. But I mean, it's a lifetime job. It's a fun job. It's a lifetime job. But if I'm simplifying something for fathers to know about raising their daughters, teach them to love themselves, teach them about their identity so they know where they come from, they know their roots, and they could be proud of that before they go out there and try to find something to be proud of that they're not.
That's jewels right there, man. Books. What's some top 5 books that you think have impacted your life?
Top 5 books that I think have impacted my life. 4 Agreements. Think and Grow Rich. The 50 Laws of Power. That was 50's version.
So you liked 50's version
I
better?
like 50's version better. What's another good one? I really like this Atomic Habits book that I'm reading right now. This shit is life shifting, low key, high key. And then I would have to say maybe Jay-Z's book, or maybe what was Spike Lee's book? Spike Lee and Jay-Z both have books out. I'll probably have them tied for 5, simply because, man, when you can see somebody in that space and you can read about them when they weren't in that space and really just visualize how much time it takes, it really makes you kind of appreciate you even having a journey.
Yeah.
It's like I could have walked into a label, bruh, 12 years ago, right? And just started building with them, took that money, everything, and let them tell me who to be. They had all the answers, bruh. They had the music, they had the wardrobe, they had the vision, they had everything for me on a platter, bruh. The money was sitting right there. I could have took that shit and let them niggas do whatever. And nigga, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what that could have looked like. Ain't no telling what that could have looked like, bro. I got over 20-something projects now. I can't imagine that that's how many projects I would have had if I would have went and let them do that. Because the minute I would have tried to do something different, they would have shut it down. So not taking that deal, allowing myself to open up these doors to be able to be a versatile artist, I think that was the journey that I needed. You know what I mean?
And you being in the industry for this long, like, why do you think they're pushing this agenda, man? I know that's a deep question, but you've seen a lot more than I have.
I don't know, man. I be trying to wrap my head around it, like, on why there isn't more variety. But honestly, I think that it's a money thing. I think it's a money thing. I think they have figured out how to, that negativity sells. Negativity sells. And, you know, shock value sells. And like, you know, being positive and shit doesn't really sell.
It makes an impact, but it doesn't sell as much.
Yeah, it makes an impact. It has impact, but it don't really sell, you know. And then a lot of people who are positive, I do think they're like, sometimes I don't really want to say this, but I am gonna say this. I feel overly positive. Like, make motherfuckers feel like they gotta be positive all the time. That shit's not realistic.
Yeah.
It's like you could try to be the best version of yourself and try to be positive about shit, but like some shit is just gonna
Piss you off.
piss you the fuck off. Yeah. Like, and you're gonna have to find a way to be able to get over that. Like, and it might not just be positive. Like, you might need to go talk to your partner and get that shit off your chest, right? Yeah. And that conversation might not be the positive one, right? But then there could be a positive outcome or positive results that come from that. So I think that, like, you don't got to just shift your mind and think like that all the time. So, but it don't sell.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
The song Kill 'Em With Kindness, man. Talk about that song, what it means to you, and how you came up with it.
I was with, when I was with Funk Volume, bruh, and I started out with them, I used to think to myself, these niggas is crazy, bruh. I'm like, bruh, I gotta find a way to try to keep up with these niggas, man. But I need to make sure that I still keep my message and put that message out there and be a positive impact. So Kill 'Em With Kindness, World Peace, some of those records that were like all on the same album was strictly because I was trying to make a statement and a point that, like, yo, I'm a part of this crazy ass label. But this is the version of me that's a part of the label. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to be able to keep up, but also when y'all fuck with me, this is the type of shit y'all going to get. So it was just me really trying to make a statement on the type of artist that I wanted to be, who I wanted to be seen as. I wanted to be seen as the person that could drop a record like Can't Trust Them and be in the video throwing my partner in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? And then I wanted to be able to do a video like Kill 'Em With Kindness, you know, showing my daughter and showing like some more reality type shit. And just finding the balance. Wasn't really like nothing more than that.
And then what, because I know you said you were at a showcase one time and Def Jam like offered you a deal or something like that they wanted to make you like a new school Kid Cudi, or I heard something like that in an interview. And you said, I'm not signing to anybody after they said that to you. What made you sign to Funk Volume? Like, what was the difference that you were like, okay, I'm going to sign with these dudes?
Creative control. Yep, creative control. That's what I was just telling you about with the whole shit. They had it all out on a platter. They had that shit out on a platter for you, dog. You go in there and then you realize that, you know, the people that are trying to convince you to sign the label, you know, they don't even listen to hip hop. They just work in this department. And you're just like talking to somebody that's like, could get fired tomorrow and go back to listening to the genre that they listen to and never bat an eye at nothing that's coming out of this label on the hip hop side. Just doing a job, you know? So after that, when I realized that it was like that, I was like, oh, if it's like this, man, I ain't signing to none of these niggas, man. And I just questioned the whole music industry shit. I was just like, do I really want to fuck with the music industry, bruh? Like, it just felt super fake, super like I had to put on like a costume to be a part of this shit at first, you know? And yeah, with Funk Volume, they just like, yo, you could come in. We just need you to provide us the music, and we gonna help you get on the road, get in front of more people. We'll try to help you get some opportunities. And I was like, oh, that's all I want. I'm like, I don't need to blow up right away, bruh. I just want to be able to put the album out and maybe go get in front of some other people. And so being able to go around with Hobson in the beginning and open up for him was like eye-opening for me, you know, because that was like the process of me learning how to become a performer.
Nice. And he had a huge fucking following around the time, so.
Yeah, that following grew even more, but at the time he had a huge following. But what he had that a lot of people didn't have was stage presence. So there was a lot of rappers, but there wasn't a lot of performers. Most rappers was getting up there with their partners, rapping over their lyrics, you know, only saying the ad-libs, just trying to turn that shit into a situation where he got up there with no lyrics in his songs, rapping everything in the mic, dolo. And that shit was like, okay, I gotta step it up.
And how were the Funk Volume tours back in the day? Were you guys like wilding out, or did Hobson keep like everything? Because I know he don't drink, he don't smoke, he don't.
Yeah, I didn't really hang out with Hop back in the day. Hop did his own thing, I did my own thing. It was one of the big problems on the label is that I was trying to find a way to get us together more, but we didn't really hang out like that.
Okay. And right now, what's the next moves for Dizzy Wright in music, and then outside of music? Is there any ventures that you are currently working on?
Yeah, so as far as music, I got an album coming. I'm announcing my album on my birthday in about 8 days, and it's called Trial and Error. And I'm gonna be selling this directly to the fans for the first month before it goes on to DSPs. For me right now with the music, it's about carving out the Dizzy Wright fans that's fucking with me now. Who's fucking with me now? Like, who's down? Who's still listening? Who's still inspired? Who still feels like they're growing? Who's starting to find themselves and is looking for shit that fits what they're on right now? Those are the people that I want. That's the data that I want. I don't want the Funk Volume data. I don't want the pre-Funk Volume data fresh out. I don't want the soul searching data. I want the data right now. Like in 2023, who's still around? It's still a lot of Dizzy Wright fans that's still around, but they've made it damn near impossible to reach the people that really fuck with me through these algorithms. You know, now they want me to pay an arm and a leg to reach people that fuck with me, and it might be people that fuck with me 10 years ago. I've been around a long time now, so it's like there's levels to this shit. You know, some people are like, well, I fucked with him when he fucked with Logic. Yeah. You know, and I was on my Logic shit. Or I fucked with him when he did this. Or I like this version of what he do. Or I like this version of what he, and I'm like, okay, so who's rocking right now? You know what I'm saying? And like, I feel like we can build something now a lot stronger and better than that's ever been built based around Dizzy Wright, because, you know, we have the vision now. We not only do we have the vision, we have the wisdom to go with the vision. That's a cold motherfucking combo. Like, niggas be having the vision, but they don't got the wisdom. So they go get niggas with the wisdom to help them with the vision. And then that shit is a cycle that's like extremely hard to like get out of when you not picking up nothing along the way. So the last 10 years, bro, I ain't been doing nothing but using my vision and using other niggas' wisdom. And I finally was able to pick up the wisdom enough for me to clean this shit back up and do it again. You know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome, man.
My plan right now is to just, you know, be a creative and fuck with the people that's fucking with me and find the best way to do exactly what I told you new artists should be doing. Focus on that data. Build with the people that fuck with you. If 50, 60 people in one place purchase your album, then you know you should be able to go to that place and find you a 60, 80 person venue.
Yeah, bro, look at Tech 9. I see him come every like twice a year.
Yep.
And people line up, they buy his merch.
And but you don't see a big social media presence about it.
Yeah.
It ain't like the shit be popping up on your algorithm on the Tech 9 shows, but his shit still be packed.
Yeah, you pull up to the Diamond Ballroom, you got the juggalos raging out
raging,
there.
bruh. And I'm telling you, you know, back in the day, Funk Volume, that's what we did. We collected data.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of our shit grew the way that it grew, and we was able to become XXL freshmen and all that shit. It's because of the data, you know?
Yeah.
Once the label was over, the data was like, you know, you would send a text message out and somebody would be like, I'm with Hobson, fuck you. You're like, oh shit, okay, my fault. It was all love a week ago. Shit. So I think that, like, you know, having to rebuild that, and it's discouraging, bro. Yeah. I need, artists should know that, like, this shit can get stupid, anything in life. You just feel like you work hard at something and it's not working the way you want it to work. it becomes discouraging. So I would just say
Man,
keep pushing through.
I had the same issue doing music videos, and I've had podcasts in the past with other people, and like you said, the betrayal, the bullshit just kind of it does set you back sometimes, and you're just kind of like, damn, I don't even want to do this shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, that's why I was like, no, I'm not gonna let like negativity hold me back from putting out the message that I've been wanting to put, you know. So with the Student of Life podcast, that's my goal, is like fuck all the negative shit that was in the past, you know. Now I'm gonna push, like you said, with the wisdom and vision I have now. Just keep it pushing.
Exactly. You got a better chance. You got a better chance now, bro.
And, you know, sometimes you got to start all over, and that is discouraging. Like seeing the people like, damn, I got to start from scratch, you know?
Yeah.
And with that being said, how do you go about choosing partners now and, working with people?
Go off your gut feeling. Once you got the vision and the wisdom, you know that wisdom gives you a gut feeling. You like, I like this dude. I like his effort. I like his consistency. Let me work with him a little bit and see. I'm not gonna give him too much because I gave a nigga too much before, and I saw what that nigga did with it, right? But I like his work ethic and his belief in me. I'm gonna go with my gut feeling and fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? But it might be a week later. You might go out somewhere, and then he get drunk. And he wildin', and you might be like, okay. So I know where I can't take him. I know what we can't do. You just can't ignore shit when you got the wisdom, when you already been betrayed and you already been through everything. You can't let niggas slide on nothing. So I say go with your gut feeling. That's your wisdom.
And do you confront people whenever you see them on some bullshit, or do you kind of just keep it to yourself and...
Well, so here's it depends on if it affects me. It affects my platform. I'm not letting nobody play with my platform. I'm not letting nobody do nothing to fuck up what I got going on. I've been there before.
Yeah.
You let niggas come in, and guess what? Niggas will make a mistake, and guess who they blaming? You.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you can't even let people play with you like that no more. That's that wisdom. That's that gut feeling. But are you going to be able to avoid all the bullshit? Hell nah, bruh. If that was the case, you'd be a psychic. I'd tell you go be a medium. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that gut feeling is fucking real. And sometimes you know how you be like, I fucking knew this nigga was going to do some dirty shit like that. I can't believe I let him get this far into this shit to be able to do. Now I'm feeling some type of way, bruh. You done let this nigga throw you all the way off your mission, and he about to go find another mission to be a part of. So I think that just being selfish. I saw some shit earlier today with Sugar Free said. I saw this shit actually on the way over here when he was talking about ideas, to be real. He just like, them ideas, bruh, they so powerful when they up here. When you let them out into the world, they weaken. Ain't no telling who you might tell an idea to that's like, I don't know. And instantly you like.
That's crazy, bro. My girl tells me that all the time. She's like, just keep shit to yourself.
Keep that shit. It's power and just doing that shit, bro. It's power in just doing that shit.
I need to listen to my lady more, man.
Gotta listen to the queen, bro. Yeah, I'm saying.
As far as intuition goes, what has been one thing that's strengthened that for you?
Intuition?
Yeah. That gut feeling, you know, that.
Shit. Trial and error. Trial and fucking error, bro. Just trying to be a good person and just constantly, running into obstacles, and you just realize that, like, you could kill them with kindness. You know what I'm saying? You could kill them with kindness, and, like, sometimes people will try to take advantage of you, That's why I got some shit that I'm gonna get into next year for real on this music, on going back and talking about some of the records that I made, my true intentions, and what I've learned since I made those records on what makes me critique that message now these days. Because I think that like you'll say something in your early 20s and then you go through your 20s, you'll learn all this shit and you'll feel like, I don't even feel like that no more, to be honest. I feel like that, but not like that. Like, I gotta find a way to make it, to, you know, speak on where I'm at now so it feels like a journey and not like just a moment. Because I don't look at Killing with Kindness as like I never tried to drop no hits, no singles. I was just making music and doing what felt good to me.
About the message. Basically.
About the message and putting shit out that I wanted people to know me for. But I never like personally was like, man, I need to go in there and I need to make this record so the whole world knows who I am. Cause I was like, I don't think I need the whole world to know who I am, like right off the bat. We can grow into that.
Okay, and then what is the message, man? I mean, lay it down simple. What's the message Dizzy Wright wants to put out to the world?
That there's beauty in the journey, man. There's beauty in the journey, man. And we're all growing. We're all growing. And we're all going through this life shit. And, you know, when you look at Dizzy Wright, I just want people to know that I'm having a human experience. I'm not a puppet, bruh. Not a robot. I don't got nobody controlling the shit. Like, I'm having a human experience, bruh. Real emotions, real thoughts, real conversations, real dialogue. The shit that happens in the world that affects the average motherfucker affects me. I just go to my art, to my what I love to do, and I find ways to put that into package that up, bruh. But I'm drinking shots with my partners like y'all. I'm smoking weed like y'all. I'm going to see them ass and titties like y'all. I'm having a human experience, bruh. Like, I'ma constantly read, try to get my mind to constantly develop. 1%. I like the concept of being 1% better every day, because I ain't trying to be Dr. Martin Luther fucking King. So, but I'm also not trying to be, you know, fucking,
just a dumbass.
just a dumb motherfucker. I don't want to put a name on a dumb motherfucker, right? But I don't want to be somebody that's completely damaging their people, knowing our history. Like, so that's what's important. I think that a lot of people out here, they learn their roots, and it's easier for them to be proud of who they are.
That song, Legendary, man. That was what you say at the end. Like, there's nobody to look up to, nobody to, you know, that's true. Like, when I heard that song, I was like, damn. Like, I'm trying to, even though I'm not a rapper, I want people, whatever I say, you know, that it leaves some sort of positive impact, not keep adding to the
bullshit. Hell yeah, man. I think right now it's like we all stuck in our phones. It's all a lot of shit is curated for us to be stuck on certain shit. And like, you know, I'm going into restaurants now, and now they got the robots now. Niggas, they bringing the robots out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all conditioned to think and move a certain type of way. And I think niggas should just be having a human experience. Even with your ladies and your family and all these different things, they try to tell us that it's supposed to be a certain way that sometimes isn't fully living in your true potential, your human experience, right? So I think that, like, when people look at me and what I want people to know about me is that, bruh, I'm living a human experience, and y'all gonna get that shit in an art form. Ain't no telling what I'm gonna be doing, how long I'm gonna be doing this music shit. You asked me some of the ventures that I do have outside of music. I will say that I'm about to start selling water, spring water. It's my next hustle, y'all. Yeah. I want to get the water out there, put some water in some different schools and in some of these different communities. And, like, you know what I'm saying, I've been selling weed legally for over a decade. You know what I'm saying? So water is what I'm headed towards next. And I want to, you know, I was born in Flint, Michigan. I was raised in Vegas. So I want to go back and work with some of the community leaders in Flint and see how we can get some, you know, continue to keep some clean water out there for my people. Nice. And for the people of Flint, and just try to have an impact, bro. You know, it was always impact through the music. Now it's just really like impact in life. Like, I didn't really know how to be the person that, you know, the role model that knew what community work needed to be done. I was the nigga in the community that needed niggas to come and do community work.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And those niggas that did the community work inspired me. All that talking and shit, all that motivation shit they would come and tell us at them community events and shit, that shit worked.
Yeah,
So
man.
now I'm at the age where I'm like, okay, I get it now. Now I'm ready to be that version of myself.
That's dope, man. That's dope. The journey, we'll wrap it up here soon, man. As far as the journey goes, you said something about finding peace in the process. Talk a little bit about that and how you're able to do that.
Yeah, so it's like with Andre 3000, right? Andre 3000 just dropped this album, this flute album. And I was watching his interview and what he was saying, you know, about just like being 48 and not really, you know, feeling like he doesn't know what he would say in hip hop right now. And that this was the way that the wind blew him. And I just love that, fam, because, you know, you're going to, especially when you're so good at something and people are like, what are you doing? Just be great at that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but you got to, that's that human experience shit, bro. You got to do what you want to do. You got to do what feels right to you, bruh. Like, and if you find beauty in the journey, you can find peace in what you're doing before the negativity even gets to you. You like, I'm already at peace with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas can say whatever the fuck they want to say, but I'm at peace with this shit. So understanding that, even when he said, well, shit, I didn't know that the rap albums were going to sound like that. That's just the way that they started to sound. It made me think about, right, like, who would have thought that Andre 3000 from the Dungeon was going to be the, hey, ya, uh-oh. Like, who would have thought that nigga was going to be that nigga? So, obviously, he just continued to be the creative that he wanted to be. Then he went into the acting, and then it's just levels to these things. Somebody like me that I don't have a lot of that to look at. You know what I'm saying? I truly feel like a lot of the OGs are trying to do what the young niggas are doing. There's no separation, right? So if you got the legendary niggas that should be, you know what I'm saying, next level with the shit, where you feel like their shit should sound just different. They got the most money. They got the most access to all the artists and in the world. Why the fuck does it sound like this nigga that did his shit at his crib? You know, and I think that I'm super happy that Andre didn't try to compete with what's going on right now, you know, and he did something that was more for him. Gives the creatives an opportunity to be inspired by wherever the fuck the wind blows us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I'm gonna be playing the flute, but nigga, if I learn how to play that guitar, you niggas might get a guitar album. All right? I might be on that motherfucker just playing a guitar. Because guess what? That's where the wind might blow me.
Yeah, man. I mean, when Lil Wayne started skateboarding, people were like, what the fuck is he doing?
Exactly. Like, what are you doing? When Michael Jordan wanted to play baseball, you know, motherfuckers was like, what are you doing? You're Michael Jordan.
Yeah, man. I started with this camera stuff, and I said, I want to open up barbershops. We're like, where the fuck would you want to cut hair if you know how to use a camera?
I'll tell you this, too, man. When I first started this music shit out, there was a lot of people in my corner that was like, yo, you got a daughter on the way. Might be time for you to go get a real job and start really planning for this. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, I feel like something's happening, but it's not happening fast enough. And I'm like, I feel it, though. I'm like, damn. And I went against the grain. I went against the grain of what everybody else was saying. And I stuck to my gut feeling. And I ended up becoming I ended up gaining this much success. But in the beginning, it was just like, yo, your daughter's gonna be here in 5 months. What's up? You know what I'm saying? My daughter wasn't even here yet. My first wasn't even here. She's 12 now.
They said, have you thought about getting your CDL?
Yeah, you can get that CDL, my boy. What you talking about?
Yeah, man. So what would be some word of advice to 18-year-old Dizzy Wright, man? Right now, like if you were to give yourself some.
18-year-old Dizzy Wright, I wish I could just tell that nigga, you good, bros. That feeling that you feeling is a real feeling. You good, bros. You know what I'm saying? Don't lose the faith, you know? There's days where I kind of thought I was going to lose that faith, but it was hard, bro. You know, it's like when you a shelter baby, they try to make it seem like you're going to always be in a shelter. Make it seem like a one-bedroom apartment is far-fetched. And you like, what?
Talk a little bit about that. You've mentioned it a couple times. Shelter baby, what exactly does that mean?
Shelter baby meaning I grew up I lived in a shelter for a while with my moms and my brothers. And when I lived in that shelter, I learned a lot. Everybody that was nice to my moms during that time changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that picked my mom up when she was down like that changed my life, helped me be the man that I am today. You know, because I knew that I wanted to be like those people. My mom needed that shit, fam. You know what I'm saying? And that's who I became. That's why y'all got this version of me like this, right? So, you know, I use that as a reminder of, you know, of just being a good person, where that can take you in life, you know what I'm saying? But I remember the doubts of feeling like the bounce back from being in a shelter was gonna be night and day, you know what I mean? And I watched my mom make that shit work, you know what I'm saying? And I watched her go from there to the next and continue to grow in small ways. And shit, that just taught me a lot, being able to see it, you know? But being knocked all the way down like that and watching my mom struggle like that, yeah, everybody that really was nice to my mom, I appreciate y'all niggas because y'all looked out for me too.
That was awesome, man. Well, we're going to get to this meet and greet because you got some people waiting up here.
Got some paper.
Yeah, man. You know, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, this was the Student of Life podcast, name inspired by Dizzy Wright.
Love that.
First episode. Thank you, bro. And, you know, let's keep doing what we're doing, bro. Just spreading a good message.
I'll be back. Let's do it again, bro.
Yes, sir.
My brother. Peace.